Department of Varma Maruthuvam to join the dais. Now I invite Dr. Menaka to give a brief introduction about our resource person.
A very good morning, everyone. Before starting this, I would like to wish every woman a happy Women's Day. It's with immense pleasure and honor that I welcome you all to the CM event. Our gathering today highlights a steadfast dedication to continuous learning and the pursuit of excellence in healthcare. We are privileged to be joined by esteemed experts who will share their knowledge and valuable insights. It's a great honor and pleasure that we welcome Dr. Shailaja Ma'am, Medical Officer, Department of Ayush, AIDS, Jodhpur, to our CME program. Hailing from a traditional Varmam family at Kanyakumari district, Dr. Shailaja Ma'am is an expert in Varma with extensive experience and invaluable contribution to the medical community. Has done her UG in Velumai Siddha Medical College, Sri Perumadu, and PG in GSMC, Chennai, and has also completed general course in intellectual property rights conducted by World Intellectual Property Organization, Geneva. Has received a Researcher Award for the presentation in AIDS Uttarakhand on 2018. Has granted patent titled Process for the Preparation of Punir used in Siddha Medicine on 2024, the Patent Office, Government of India. Has participated as a delegate in the CME program on One Health, Let's Collaborate to Take Care of Our Health, organized at AIDS Jodhpur on 2024. Has participated in training in good clinical practice, new drugs and clinical trial rules 2019, and ICMR National Ethical Guidelines organized by Research Section 8 Jodhpur on 2023. Your presence has significance to this special event, ma'am. Now I extend heartfelt welcome to our chief guest, Dr. Shailaja ma'am, for the presentation, Importance of Internal Medicine used in Varma Maruthuvam. Thank you.
A pleasant good morning to one and all. I'm honored to be present here. As this CME program is particularly based on Varmam, it gives me immense pleasure to give my insights regarding pharmacology, in which I belong to. I'm coming from the Gunapada background from Siddha, and I feel very privileged to see all the faculties from all the medical colleges and also the AMOs here. Before starting going into it, I wish you all a happy Women's Day. I feel very great to give my presentation on this Women's Day, coming a long way from Jodhpur to my native in Tamil Nadu here. And today I'm going to discuss about mainly about the Varmam medicines. So this CME program, it started since Monday. So this is the last day. So last day, and from day one you have been exposed to what's the history, how it evoluted, and what are all the basic specialities in Varmam related with fracture management and related with the neurological diseases. I carried all these things. So when you go into all these things, the basic thing which forms an indispensable part of the Varmam literature are the medicines. So from day one you would have been exposed to the stimulations. So how we can manipulate the Varmam, what are all the techniques we can advocate by stimulating each Varmam point, and by what are all the adangal which can be given, and what are the emergency management which would have been come across all these days. So whatever the stimulation we give, when you go into the literature, the basic thing will be the medicines. Okay. So in that, it's great, like the Department of Varma Maruthuvam has taken the initiative to give an importance to the Varmam medicines also, though it is and nowadays you see Varmam is mushrooming like anything, like how yoga grown as a corporate thing nowadays. Varmam also everyone are taking in their hand, and it is focused only as a point stimulation manner. I am from AIMS Jodhpur, so here in Tamil Nadu, everyone knows Siddha. We don't want to explain what Siddha is. But since past 2.5 years, I have been associated with AIMS Jodhpur in Rajasthan. So Rajasthan is totally, they are unaware about Siddha. So then how come Varmam? They totally doesn't know it. When you say Siddha, they'll ask, in turn they'll ask, is it Ayurveda? In that way. So with that thing in the notion also, so but I have been practicing Varmam in AIMS Jodhpur. So the main thing is, more than the stimulations, Varmam medicines are also important. So moving on. So what we know, Varmam therapy is how we when we are addressing Varmam, how we will explain to the patient or to our colleagues. We'll say it is non-pharmacological, right? It's it doesn't require medicines. It's a non-pharmacological, cost-effective, convenient therapeutic modality which can be done easily with your bare hands without any much effort. The only thing which you require is efficacy in your hand. You need that technical proficiency before touching the patient. So it is more a non-pharmacological one. But is it non-pharmacological? The answer is no. Varmam includes both the things. So it is not like it is completely non-pharmacological. So whether Varmam medicines are necessary, so what do you say? So medicines are necessary. So why it is necessary? Because when you go to any literature, you read any literature in Varmam. So what it will be given, like whether it is Varma Mudivu Sarasutram, Sari Sutram, Virangi, Varma Kannadi, Varma Chudamani, whatever the literature you go into it, how it will be given, the songs will be started with the Kapu, and they will be focusing on either traumatic management or whether it was of fracture management or whether it will be nerve injury. So when you go into the literature, how it will be given, the first thing, what will be the impact of the trauma, like this will happen, that will happen, what are all the symptomatology will be given, and following the symptoms, what kind of stimulation you can give as the immediate management. That comes under the role of Varmam stimulation. If any Varmam is affected, so it has to be corrected with the Kaibagam and Saibagam method. So it is the role of the stimulation which we generally, for that, just the book knowledge will not be enough, which also require Gurukulam education. Then, so what we will be doing, she has given, Dr. Meena has given me a nice introduction about me. So I come from, I basically belong to Kanyakumari district. And so though I was brought up in Chennai, we usually visit Nagarkoil often. When I was a kid, often we used to visit the place. So because kids growing in Chennai, you will never hear about Varmam. I'm saying some 20-30 years ago, no one knows what is Varmam in Chennai. But in Kanyakumari, Tirunelveli and Thoothukudi, when you go, when any hit is there on a person, definitely all the family members or any common people will also say, என்ன சொல்லுவாங்கன்னா வர்மத்துல அடிபட்டிருக்கு, வர்மத்துல அடி, ஒரு சின்ன ஒரு அடி இருந்தா கூட, எங்க அம்மாவே சொல்லுவாங்க, கணத்துல அடிச்சோம் அப்படின்னா கணத்துல அடிக்க கூடாது, ஏன்னா இங்க வர்மத்துல, ஸோ வர்மத்துல அடிபட்டுடும். இந்த ஒரு பேசிக்கான அந்த டெக்னிக்கல் டேர்ம் வந்து கன்னியாகுமரி மக்கள் கிட்ட நார்மலாவே உள்ள டெர்மினாலஜி. ஸோ காமன் மேனா ஒருத்தங்க கிட்ட நீங்க போய் அங்க கன்னியாகுமரி மாவட்டத்துல கேட்டீங்கன்னா வர்மம்னா என்னன்னு கேட்டா அது அடிக்கிறதுக்கு உரியதுதான் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஏன்னா அடிச்சு அதுக்குள்ள இம்பாக்ட் என்னவோ அதை தான் வந்து வர்ம நூல்கள்ல வந்து நமக்கு ஃபுல்லா சொல்லியிருப்பாங்க. ஸோ வர்ம அடின்றது வந்து இட்ஸ் அ வெரி காமன் திங் விச் இஸ் நோன் இன் சதர்ன் பார்ட்ஸ் ஆஃப் தமிழ்நாடு அண்ட் சதர்ன் பார்ட்ஸ் ஆஃப் கேரளா. Previously, Kerala, Southern Kerala is a part of Travancore. So, இங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா கொல்லம், Kollam, Trivandrum, Kanyakumari. So இந்த மூணு டிஸ்ட்ரிக்ட்ல தான் இன்னைக்கும் வர்மம் வந்து ரொம்ப லைவான ஸ்டேட்டஸ்ல எப்படி ப்ராக்டிக்கலா மக்கள் கிட்ட போகணுமோ உண்மையான வர்மமா வந்து இன்னைக்கும் நிலைச்சு இருக்குது. ஸோ என்ன பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா லைக் if anybody is get any kind of injury, what they will do, they go to a asan. So each and every family will know one or the other asan, and all the family members will also will have that Varmam knowledge inside that family. So what they will do, they will go to a asan, they will take that person. What the asan will do, he will stimulate certain Varmam. So colloquially it is said like Tadavumurai. So என்ன சொல்லுவாங்க, எண்ணெய் போட்டு தடவுனாங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. So they just stimulate with certain Varmam points and with தடவல் முறைகள். And what they will give some medicines. They will give medicines according to acute or chronic. I said I come from Kanyakumari. I heard about my tata. He is from Kanyakumari, Sri Krishna Perumal, belonging to Kesavam Budura. So what they will say, மரத்துல இருந்து கீழே விழுந்த உடனே எங்க தாத்தா கிட்ட கொண்டு வருவாங்க. ஸோ அவர் வந்து கை வச்சு கட்டிட்டு அதுக்கு பிறகு மருந்துகள் வந்து உள்ள கொடுப்பாங்க. ஸோ இட் இஸ் அ வெரி காமன் திங். ஸோ ஒன்ஸ் தே வில் கிவ் Varmam stimulation, then followed by that some medicines will be given. So very commonly known medicine is Kaya Tirumeni Thailam. Kaya Tirumeni Thailam, which is very, very commonly known in Varma, and usual common people also know this. So first I said what is the common man view about Varmam and Varmam medicines. Now when we go into the literature, so professionally we will be reading lot of Varmam literature. So we all know most of the Varmam, almost every Varmam literatures are in Tamil language, few are in Malayalam, but when you read that literature, the script will be in Malayalam, but it gives the meaning in Tamil only. And there are certain literatures which have a script of Malayalama also. So predominantly Varmam literatures are based on Tamil language. And in all the literatures, most of them, how it is, I give a case study of an example, as an example. When you read Urpatti Narambarai, that is a Varmam literature, it will give the songs for all kinds of Nadi roots. So for example, when you see Singuvai Nadi, where the Singuvai Nadi, which starts at the navel point, it ascends up, goes into the chest cavity, comes to the clavicle, then collarbone, then again goes to the liver, and then comes to the symphysis menti and to Kumbaga Mudichu. This is the normal route of, I'm saying the very basic route of Singuvai Nadi. Once the Singuvai Nadi is affected because of hit, for example, if a person falls from a tree and he got a hit on his low back, the sacrococcygeal region, so the Kumbaga Mudichu, that is the sacrococcygeal region, which have the hook of this Singuvai Nadi will get affected. So what will happen? Once that Singuvai Nadi is affected, patient will come with the hyperpigmentation in the body. So அவருக்கு என்னன்னா கீழே தான் விழுந்திருப்பாரு, அடி வந்து நமக்கு லோ பேக்ல தான் பட்டிருக்கும். பட் சிம்டம் என்னன்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா he will have dyspnea, and also long-term problem will be hyperpigmentation in the body. So when you read the literature, the flow of the literature will be, first the symptoms will be given, followed by that what will be given, what you have to do as an emergency management. So if Singuvai Nadi is affected, the emergency management which is said in the literature is Annakala Melthare. So Annakala Melthare is nothing but it lies on the stomach. So even it is said that you have to அதாவது கையில வந்து ஒரு துணியை வச்சு டைரக்டா you should not apply Annakalam. So I think you all would have known when you are touching the navel, because navel contains it has relation with 36 adangal. So just like that, you should not touch the navel point. When you are touching inside the navel, you have to have a kind of cloth in your hand, then only you have to touch the Annakalam, that is any kind of navel point. This has been given in the literature. So when you go to when you have the Gurukulam based thing, I had my Gurukulam based education from Shanmugam Asan. From my college days, I have been his student. He is my ardent teacher. So these small things you will get to know only when you are learning this Varmam with the asanas. So when you are touching that Annakalam, that energy of the Singhavai Nadi will get corrected. So this has been mentioned. Then what will they say? The Varmam stimulation will be mentioned. Followed by that, it will be given a long list of medicines. Whatever the literature you see, it will have a long list of medicines. What external medicine to be given, what internal medicines to be given. So in order to correct that Singhavai Nadi, you have to apply that Annakala Meltharai. I think not to become boredom, I can just tell you how we can apply that Annakala Meltharai. Any one volunteer can come forward. I think any gents side anyone can come. So Singhavai Nadi, it forms the basis for the speech. Yeah, Singhavai basis for the speech. And so as I said, any Varma, when you go, I'm just telling what will be the flow of things in a Varmam classical literature. So for example, if Singhavai Nadi, when it is affected, it's a very simply I'm going to apply. What they will be saying, Annakala Meltharai should be given. So, but this Annakala, when you are touching inside the navel, you should not touch with your bare hand, because Varmam is basically the energy-based system. So when you are applying, how you will, so you have to locate the navel. So when you are locating the navel, you have to give your middle finger. Just you can touch inside it and lift upward. This is the application for Annakala Meltharai. So this it is given in the literature. If Singhavai Nadi is affected, once you are applying this Annakala Meltharai, this Nadi root gets relieved. But is that the end of the treatment? No. If that is the end of the treatment, why the medicines have been enlisted? There is a huge list of medicines enlisted in all the literature. I'll tell you how many literatures are there. So you can give this Varmam point in sitting posture and as well as in lying posture. So first you have to locate the navel. You have to give your middle finger. So you have to just you have to take care. You should not harm the navel. Okay. Just you have to give your one hand into it and you have to lift upward. This is the application for Annakala Meltharai. And this Annakala Meltharai, it not only normalizes the Singhavai Nadi, it enhances the speech also. Thank you, sir. And so, as I said, this Varmam stimulation, then followed by that some decoction, kashayam, kudineer will be given. So, and then followed by that, because we have to take care of the Kumbaga Mudichu, right? Previously, I said with the fall, the Kumbaga Mudichu was affected, which had the link with Singhavai Nadi. So, what you have to do? You have to apply some oil on that Kumbaga Mudichu. What oil can be applied? It is also given in the literature. You can apply Vasavennai. So, in Varmam, Vasavennai is more commonly used. Vasavennai, there are many preparations in many books. And when it comes to the specific things, you have to go, when you are going with the same, so for this Nadi, this medicine, this Nadi, this medicine, that will give more comprehensive approach of the management of such a disease. So, for example, Vasavennai can be applied for that. And in certain other things, there are certain internal medicines, not only decoction, Kaya Rajangam, Kaya Sarvangam, later on we will be saying. So this will be the flow of the literature, flow of the how the Siddhas has given in the writings. Okay. So here I have mentioned it can be case specific intervention. This is the case specific intervention, right? When you when you are reading extensively, you can get these matters from the books. So the example which I told is case specific intervention. Then common usage remedies. So in certain books, for example, in Odivu Murivu Jnanam, there is a book called Odivu Murivu Jnanam. So in that book, when you see, they will just list out all the symptomatology of trauma. That is fracture management, full almost more than half a part of the literature will just mention all the traumatic management. Finally, they will mention about the like medicines like Taruna Rajangam, Kaya Rajangam, Payyara Thailam, Kukradi Kashayam, Vasavennai, Danu Mandrali. These are the very, very best medicines which can be used in your Varmam practice. So all these medicines are mentioned at the last. So when you are reading a literature, you will get both the kinds of knowledge. So then coming about the Varmam literary treasure. So what I will say, it is a treasure because no other systems of medicine have these kind of unique preparations. Like in Siddha preparation, Varmam is a part of Siddha, but when you read the literatures of other Siddhas, you cannot find these kind of formulation in a regular our Siddha books. So this Varmam literature, they basically belong to Western Ghats region of southern India, especially in Tamil Nadu and Kerala. So when you go to the, so everything will be in Tamil language, and we have done one work. In that we have collected some, from some 120 titles of book, we were able to get 16,860 songs which just mention about the medicines. So there will be huge collection of other things also, just it is from both published and unpublished literature. It contains this number of songs with just mentioning about the medicines. And but the thing is how there are all these medicines, all this literary work, they require critical edition because there will be repetition of songs. So in there is Odivu Murivu Sarasutram 1200 and Odivu Murivu Sari Sutram. In both the things, when you are comparing, certain medicine, certain rheumatological management will also be repeated. So it is our duty to decipher properly, and we have to take out that repetition. So some unwanted things will also be there. So when you are taking out those things, finally we may have some 12,422 songs. So, so this is an extensive database for our Varmam medicines. So I have just listed some classical literatures in which whatever I said previously, in that way the flow of literature will be there. Varma Chudamani 1500 Panchikarana Pinnan, then Varma Odivu Murivu Sarasutram, Varma Odivu Murivu Sari Sutram, Odivu Murivu Jnanam, Varma Kannadi, Urpatti Naravari, Varma Chutiram, Varma Uri Ayiram. And there is a literature called as Varma Kandam and Varmam Suksham, Varma Suchadi Suksham. So these literatures gives the physiology of the body. What is the function of Varmam point? When you are stimulating the Varmam, how does it, what it does to the body? And if you are not stimulating also, what is the normal function the Varmam point does to the body? These things are mentioned in those literature, but it is unpublished. So coming to Varmam pharmacology. So when you are reading about the so in Siddha, generally the raw materials are based on herbs, metals and minerals, and also animal kingdom. But when you are reading extensively the Varmam literature, you can find the data like most of the Varmam preparations will be herbal based, okay, and it will be based on some animals. Very minimally minerals and metals will be used. It's very minimal, and that too it comes only when there are very huge preparations like Tanu Mandradi, Kaya Rajangam. There are certain mineral preparations used, but generally when you are giving an overview of Varmam medicines, most of the things will be in herbal origin. Then just I'm going to give an overview of the Varmam medicine. So that is when it comes to herbs, both flowering and non-flowering plants have been used for most of the preparation. Flowering, we know all dicots, monocots are used. Non-flowering, that is like iruvi, ferns. They have also been mentioned in Varmam literatures. When you are seeing very big oil preparations, those raw materials will be used. And most of the literatures, most of the herbs which generally grows in Western Ghats will be used, because Western Ghats is one of the world's biodiversity hotspot. So throughout the year, you will be getting all the herbs in those areas. because when you see other coastal other areas, certain herbs will not be available in certain seasons, but this will not be. Any Karuvilanji Kudam? Have you ever used Karuvilanji Kudam? So this Karuvilanji Kudam will not be in our Siddha literatures. When you see any of our Siddha books, this Karuvilanji Kudam will not be mentioned. Kurimindan. So Kurimindan, I think we have another name of Thelkodukku, but that is not the Kurimindan which is used in Kanyakumari. Okay, and Karunjura Patte, I think you would have heard about Karunjura Patta Thailam. You would have used in your practice also. It is good for neck pain and any kind of cough related problem in your neck. But this Karunjura Patte is also not much used in a regular Siddha preparations. Then Panjavan Palkai is also not much used in a regular thing. And Kodutwa. Any guess about Kodutwa? But these Kodutwa, if you are speaking to a Kanyakumari people, they will say. Actually, Kodutwa is nothing but Kanjuri. I want to give an example, so I have mentioned. So everyone knows Kanjuri, Raja Involucrata. But when you are going to if you want to make some preparation from Varmam book, without knowing what does it mean, how we will procure, you cannot get from the market also. And if you want to give us a fresh herb, only when you know its scientific term or when you know its normal Tamil term, then you can go with the preparation of the medicine. So here, that the knowledge of local dialect of Kanyakumari and Kerala is also important to decode preparations from Varmam literatures. So Karuvilanji Kudam, I will explain later. Kurimindan is Oxymum hirsutum. Okay. It's a kind of tulasi. They get the picture. It's a Oxymum hirsutum. It's a kind of tulasi variety belonging to Lamiaceae family. Then Karunjure Patte, I'll show you. It's Panjavan Palkai. Panjavan Palkai it's a raw drug preparation. So Mirai. Do you know Mirai? When you are seeing Varmam literatures, Varmam preparation, there will be Patira Pagam. In that they will be giving Mirai, Kunglium, and Kasturi Kodosana. These things and all we will be knowing. This boiling of Mirai along with milk, that is called as Panjavan Palkai. This you will be getting in any raw drug shop in Kanyakumari. When you go to Gobalasan shop and you are asking, you need Panjavan Palkai, they can give you. But Panjavan Palkai, as a doctor, we should know, no? What is Panjavan Palkai? As a raw material, you can get from the market. But Panjavan Palkai is nothing but boiling of Mirai along with milk. It will be made as a powder and that will be added in most of the preparations. When you are preparing any kind of external oil, this Panjavan Palkai will be there. So, just to get an understanding of the language importance, I have just listed out. So, unique herbs. I have said the Karuvilanji Kudam. So, Karuvilanji Kudam, still I am not sure with its botanical name. It may be Diosphoria spicata. Okay, but this is very common in Kanyakumari and Kerala. Because in other areas, even I have never seen it. It grows in high altitude area. That is in Western Ghats, they have some kind of temperate condition where this Karuvilanji Kudam grows. This Karuvilanji Kudam will be having a very sharp spine and its root will be used. When you see when you are seeing some 10 preparations, minimum 2 preparations will have this Karuvilanji Kudam. This Karuvilanji Kudam will also be available as a raw drug in raw drug shop. But this is its natural picture, and the collection of Karuvilanji Kudam is very tiresome because it grows inside a crevices of rock. So once if you want to take that roots, because roots will be used in the medicine, if you want to take the root, you require a lot of effort and definitely you will get one or the other blood markings when you are collecting this Karuvilanji Kudam. And it will be added as a semi-solid decoction in the preparations. Then Kodutwa. Kodutwa is nothing but the type of Kanjuri. There are 3: Siru Kanjuri, Perun Kanjuri and Sendatti. So Sendatti is also a terminology for a kind of kanjuri which is seen in Kanyakumari. Sendati will have red, the pedicel, the petiole of the leaf will be red in color. The same, what kanjuri will give? Anyone can answer to take a, what's the effect? Sir, ma'am? Any kanjuri, what is its use? காஞ்சரியோட யூஸ் என்ன? அப்ப நம்ம காஞ்சரி வந்து மேல தடவுனா நமக்கு உடனே இச்சிங் வந்துடும். அதான் எனி கைண்ட் ஆஃப் காஞ்சரியோட ஆக்ஷனே வந்து மேல தடவுனா இச்சிங் வந்துடும். ஏன் கொஸ்டின் கேட்டா நிறைய பேருக்கு ஸோ காஞ்சரி வந்து நமக்கு தொடும் பொழுதே நமக்கு இச்சிங் வந்துடும். ஸோ அண்ட் இட் இஸ் யூஸ்ட் இன் ஆஸ்மா, main use of anti-allergic, for antihistaminic. So you can use more mainly for asthma. So in that itself 3 varieties are there. The common terminology which is used is Koduthuva, Sendatti for Kanjari. Triagia Creta. Then this is Karunchurai. And this is Caparis setiaria. This Karunchurai will also have spines. So many of you would have used Karunchurai Pattai Thailam for oil bath and also for neck pain. Because it works very good for cervical pain, but it is actually prepared from this herb only, and this will grow in little hot and dry areas also. The previous one, this Karvilanji kuda, it grows in high altitude and little humid area, but this Karunchurai can grow in hot and dry area also. In certain places it is called as Puligori Mulige. That is when you come to northern Tamil Nadu, it is called as Puligori Mulige. It is Puligori Mulige. It will decoction of the Puligori Mulige will be good for knee pain. Any kind of knee pain, knee sprains, you can just apply it externally. You have to make it as a decoction, and you can make paste with some of the herb, and you can apply externally for knee pain and knee sprain. Then next is any guess? Cleomonophila. You have seen the picture. Any guess? Correct, sir. So Cleome viscosa, we all know it will have yellow flower. நம்ம அது நாய்க்கடுகுன்னு சொல்லுவோம். Then Cleome gynandra or Gynandropsis pentaphylla. Thivede is very commonly used in Varmam preparations. So this is a kind of, it also belongs to the Caparaceae family, and it's called as Cleomonophila, and in Kanyakumari it's called as Tirumeni Mulige. So it also in certain Kaya Tirumeni preparations this will be used, and this will be commonly found in Penandopu. நம்ம தென்னந்தோப்புக்குள்ள போனீங்கன்னா நிறைய செடிகள் இருக்கும் பொழுது இது வந்து வீடு மாதிரி வளர்ந்துருக்கும், and when it is grown in a nice way, and if the soil is rich in copper, it will give a glow like a peacock feather. So it is also called as mail peel. That also it is called, but in most of the literatures it will be mentioned as Tirumeni Mulige. Okay, so this is this we generally will not use in our preparation. In Siddha preparation we use Naikadugu and Thivede. This is a different one, Cleomonophila, and you can see this in Coimbatore, some little moist places it will naturally grow. Then Mukkutti. How many of you seen this? Sir? Sir? முத்திருக்கு செடி இல்லை சார். இது வந்து it's a sensitive plant. It's a sensitive plant like Mimosa pudica. This is a sensitive plant, but Mimosa pudica, it will have pink flowers. It will have pink flower, and it will be very, very sensitive. The other name, this is commonly called as Mukkutti. In the literature, it will be a Mukkutri. So Mukkutri, and most of the Kerala people know this. They make kanji out of it. So for Karkadaga kanji and Karkadaga month, Kerala people they make some kanji just with the all wild herbs. அதாவது நம்ம கண்ணில் பார்க்குறோம் இல்லையா, அருகம்புல், ட்ரைடாக்ஸ், ப்ரொக்யூமெண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாத்தையும் போட்டு ஒரு கஞ்சி வச்சு கர்க்கடக மாதம் குடிப்பாங்க. ஸோ அதில் வந்து this is the main ingredient. So it's also called as தொட்டாவாடி. தொட்டாவாடி, தீண்டாநாடி. தொட்டா சினுங்கி is Mimosa pudica. This is தொட்டாவாடி or தீண்டாநாடி, and it is more used in mantra, tantra and for Vasyam purposes also. This molecule is used. It's called as biophytum sensitivo. There are two varieties. This I have shown this yellow color. Picture is not clear. This yellow cover flower is also there, and one more variety of orange color. It will be very beautiful color. So it will be orangish red flowers will be there. This you can find in Kollimalai areas also. And it grows in November, because in Kollimalai areas, it will be very hot in coming months. Kollimalai area will be very hot. But when you are going in November, December, until this Masi month, you can see this in Kollimalai areas also. Okay, this is more used in Varmam preparations. And the other thing, Panappul. If you would have read the literature, these Panappul and all will be coming very often in the Varma Kashayangal. Because in Varmam, Kashayans are very important. They form an indispensable base. So in that, you will see this Panappul. So Panappul, this is very common. This you can see in our NIS campus also. This is very common, but because its other name is Ramanama Pachile. See, there is one Namam kind of, no? So it's also called as Ramanama Pachile. It is very common, it is very wide. Only when we know it is very wide, then only we can use in our preparations. Otherwise, we'll think it's like some Greek and Latin and we cannot use it. So just to give that kind of view, I have put these pictures. So, when you see that Varmam preparations, there will be preparations containing more than 100 herbs also. There are preparations which contain just 2 or 3 herbs, 1 herb, and like 108 herbs. In that way, the preparation will be very huge. So, just I have listed what are the very, very common herbs which are mentioned in Varmam literatures. Thaiveli, that is Gynandropsis pentaphylla. Then Kuppaimeli, Acalypha indica. Kuppaimeli, there are 2 types of Kuppaimeli. One is Kuppaimeli, another one is Vattathirumeni. Have you heard of Vattathirumeni? So this Kuppaimeli will be, the leaf will be little whirled, little rounded in shape. Vattathirumeni, the leaf will be little lanceolate and the margins will be serrated. Okay, so this because in the preparation there will be Kuppaimeli also, then again Vattathirumeni also. So both forms, they are the different forms of Acalypha. Then Veliparuthi. Veliparuthi, we all know it is a very commonly used herb in Varmam preparations. And then Changan. Changan is Azaima tetracantha. So Changan, it is very commonly used in used as a powder. So Changan, the leaves will be dry and it will be mixed with rice flour, and it is given internally for quick healing of wounds and also for asthmatic problem. So it is very commonly used plant. Then Vettile. So we all know Vettile, piper beetle is also commonly used. Then Kutti Takkali. Kutti Takkali is, no, not Manatakali. It's Sodukku Takkali. Even this Kutti Takkali will not be mentioned in our Siddha literatures. So this Manatakali is Solanum nigrum. This is Physalis minima. This is Physalis minima, which is very common. Everywhere, everyone knows it. But the thing is, it will be mentioned as Kutti Takkali only. Not even Sodukku Takkali will be mentioned as in literature. It will be mentioned as Kutti Takkali. Then Devadaram in our order. This Devadaram, Pukulium, Korosane, Kasturi, these things will be mentioned a lot. Then Kovai. Kovai is also, in most of the, there are many kinds of Kayathirumeni oil preparation. In most of the Kayathirumeni oil preparation, whatever the herbs I have mentioned, like Thaiveli, Kuppaimeli, Kovai, Musumusikkai will be there. Then Musumusikkai, you all know, there is also mainly there. Then I have mentioned about Kanjiram. What is Kanjiram? Etti. So common terminology in Kanyakumari, people will not say as Etti, they will say as Kanjiram. So in most of the preparations, it will be written as Kanjiram only. So you can see Erichi Kanjiram, Vayal Kanjiram, and one more thing, Puri Kanjiram is also there. In the same preparation, all these things will be there. So all belonging to extremely different family, right? This Kanjiram, it belong to Lagariaceae. Then Erichi Kanjiram is Mirahu Tanji. Mirahu Tanji. Miraharane, yes. Miraharane. Miraharane Verpattai. That is Todalia asiatica. So Erichi Kanjiram. How many of you have tasted Miraharane? Fresh leaf? It will give that karam, no sir. At last you will feel that spiciness like a tipping, like a long pepper. It will give that spiciness at the end. So by this property, the name has been given, but no literatures will. I have never seen like Miragarane direct way. It is mentioned as Erichi Kanjiram or Miragu Tandri. So when there is Miragu Tandri, it is commonly what we will make a mistake. We will take as Miragu as one drug and Tandri as another drug, right? When it is there as Miragu Tandri Verpattai, you have to take Miraharane Verpattai, not the pepper and the Tanchikan. Okay. Then Vayal Kanjiram. Vayal Kanjiram is a herbaceous. This Kanjiram is a tree, Erichi Kanjiram is a shrub, and Vayal Kanjiram, Glynis oppositifolis, it is a herb which grows on the surface. Then Iruveli. Iruveli, how many of you have used or seen? Iruveli, there will be confusion. Iruveli, whether it is vetiver, whether it is the other name of vetiver. Vetiver is Vetiveria zizanioides. Iruveli is Plectranthus. It is a Plectranthus. That is our Vilamichande. We will say Vilamichande, no? That is Iruveli. So the leaves will be very similar to Navarapachilai. Karpuravalli. Navarapachilai Karpuravalli irukkalingla. So Karpuravalli will have good aroma. Karpuravalli will, the leaf of Iruveli and Karpuravalli will be exactly the same. But when you this Karpuravalli will be having good aroma. Iruveli will not have any aroma. This will grow in little cool and humid areas. And it will have a dyeing agent called as dye, orange color dye. Previously, this herb was used to dye the dhotis. So, நம்ம வேஷ்டிகளுக்கெல்லாம் அந்த காலத்துல டைக்காக இந்த இலையை தான் பயன்படுத்தினாங்க. ஸோ இது நம்ம மோகன்ராஜ் சார் இருந்தார் இல்லைங்களா? ஸோ மோகன்ராஜ் சார் வந்து இந்த இன்புட் கொடுத்தாரு. அந்த காலத்துல இந்த dyeing agenda வந்து this has been used in olden days. So Iruveli will have a dye, and this Iruveli you can see in most of the preparations which is mentioned for pitta diseases. So like how vetiver is used in the similar way, but vetiver is totally different. It's a grass. This Iruveli will be mentioned in most of the preparations which is given for pitta diseases. Then Uluva. Uluva is actually a Malayalam word, but in the literatures it will be mentioned as Uluva only for Vendayam, Trigonella fenugreecum. So even it comes in Arivagayaru also, right? So but mostly Vendayam will not be mentioned in the literature. Uluva will be mentioned. Okay, then Kodiveli is also a very commonly mentioned one, and mostly Asans will use Senkodiveli more than that white one. Senkodiveli, Plumbago rubra will be much used. And this Plumbago rubra, it grows in little high altitude areas. This Plumbago auriculata, white and blue variety is seen in NIS also. Then Kanam. Everyone knows Kanam is colder. So there are two varieties of Kanam. In Kanyakumari, people will call us Kanam or Mudire. They doesn't know us Kollu. So in the literatures, it will be mentioned because this Varmam science is more and more colloquial with the common people. So whatever existed as the oral tradition since long time, then it has come as a palm leaf manuscript. Later on, it came as a paper manuscript. Now we are lucky we are having as digitalized manuscripts also. So because of that, most of the things will be in common language. The Kanam, Karul Kanam. Karunkanam will be much used. Karunkanam will be black in color. It is more used in Thoothukudi district and also in Kanyakumari. Karunkanam, it is used for, it's a common practice in Kanyakumari district when you have any chronic ulcer. So this Karunkanam chutney will be made. நம்ம பொடியா செஞ்சு இட்லி பொடியாகவோ இல்லைன்னா துவையலாகவோ செஞ்சு பேஷண்ட்டுக்கு உள்ளார கொடுக்கும்போது அலோபதியில் அவங்க என்ன மெடிசன்ஸ் it will be like a food. So whatever the medicines they take in allopathy, along with that, if you are giving this Karunkanam துவையல் or Karunkanam podi, it will enhance healing, wound healing. So these are the herbal names in Varmam literature. Uringai. Uringai is Mudakattan, Cardiospermum halicaceum. So in very in a less way, Mudakattan will be mentioned, but most of the thing will be mentioned as Uringai only. Then Pokkanattan. So Garudakudi, each Muli will be mentioned in a term called as Pokkanattan, Pokkanantuki, Garudakudi. In Kayathrimeni preparations, this Garudakudi will be definitely mentioned, and it will be mentioned in a term called as Garudakudi. So you can add one more thing, Pokkanantuki. Pokkanantuki also refers Aristolochia indica. Then Tamilame. Tamilame is Mukirete. It's very commonly said as Tamilame. Tamilade Kashayathala podu அப்படிதான் சொல்லுவாங்க. So Tamilame is nothing but Mukirete, Goyaragia diffusa. Then Kadaladi. Kadaladi is Nayuri. Kadaladi. Then Maran Kurangu. Maran Tandu, Maran Kurangu. Then the Mergan Kurangu. Like it's Maran Kurangu. Then Ramicham. This is also very common. I have mentioned the one which is very commonly used and mostly mentioned. You can, Ramicham is Vettiver. Vettiver is normally, when my party says Ramicham only, they doesn't know Vettiver. Then Katti Channayam, Sanninayam. Katti Channayam, because it is mostly, it comes in many preparations, which is Moosamar, Kariyapolam, but it will be mentioned as Katti Channayam. When there are preparations for external taste and all, this Katti Channayam will be there. Then Murivu Porundi, or another name is Attale Porundi also, which is nothing but our Nethirapundu. Nammaloda Nethirapundu, have you ever tried with Nethirapundu? So this is Nethirapundu. Okay, this is Ichiramuli. This is Nethirapundu. So when you are anyone has made any experiment with Nethirapundu? No. So it's called as Murivu Porundi or Attale Porundi, right? So the name itself says that it has an ability of giving quick healing. So whenever you find this Nethirapundu, you can give a try. You just take one leaf, okay? You just tear it. You just want to tear it and try to stick it. It will stick. I think your NIS campus may be having. If it is there, I can show you also. If you are just tearing it, I show this like a magic to my son whenever we are going out. They will okay, because it is having some sticky property, which is also giving that healing and also anti-inflammatory action. So you just want to tear it and you just want to try to paste it. So it will just paste it. If you are doing in few seconds, definitely it will paste. Even when a breeze flows also, it will just hang like this. Okay, mostly once it is torn, you cannot take it back. So that's why its name is Murivu Porundi and Attale Porundi. Attale Porundi, you are removing it like a head. Then also it will get binded. Okay. Then is Taravu. Most of the songs will have the literature called as Taravu, Tadare Pundu. Tadare Pundu will be in our Siddha literatures also, but Nattechuri will be mentioned as Taravu. Then Kudangal. Kudangal is Ballari. And there is a mention of Karun Kudangal. In some songs, there will be mention of Karun Kudangal. People say it is the black variety of Centella asiatica. Vallarayoda Karut variety, which grows in high altitude like Mahendragiri and all saying, but I have never seen. And some people say like Elikadilai, Glidus latoides. So Elikadilai can also be said as Karunkudangal. So Kudangal is mentioned as Vallari. Then Adappan Kodi. Adappan Kodi, Adappan, they all mentions are Kudurai Kulambadi. Kudurai Kulambadi. So Iponia pescaipre. It will be seen in the coastal area or in the river bed. So this Kudurai Kulambadi, you can use it for calcaneal pain, heel pain. Like how we use our calotropis leaf. So in the same way, you have to make grind these herbs, and then you just want to make a curry out of it, and you have to give it on the heel. It will have good effect on heel pain. This Adappan Podi, then Adakka Pachilai. Veliparuthi, we said it's commonly used. Other name of Veliparuthi is Adakka Pachilai. Then Adakka Mani. Adakka Mani. So in the songs it will be like Adakka Mani, which mentions about Shivakarandai. Because when you are reading that time you will get a hint of what this it suggests, what that it suggests. Then Maravatti, you all know it's Nedadi Muttu, and Puvan Kurundal. In many Varmam Kashayam, this Puvan Kurundal will be there. So why it is Puvan Kurundal? Vernonia cinerea, anybody has seen? Vernonia Nechiti Kire. Nechiti we will say, no? Sir? Yes, sir. It is in our book also. So Kurundal, that it belongs to Astraceae family. So the flowers will be like a Puvan Kurundal. So that's why it's named. Then Puvattu or Puvattu. It is nothing but Podudalai. Then with this, I think I have given an extensive overview of herbs in Varmam literatures. Then, as I said earlier, next to herbs, more animal origin drugs have been used in Varmam preparations. So, animal origin drugs, I have just listed out hen varieties. So, as I said earlier, if there is any hit, the patient will be taken to Asan, and the Asan will be giving some external stimulation. Then immediately they will give some Kori chart. Because there are two management in trauma. We have acute management and chronic management. When it comes to acute management, the main thing is this Kori Kashayam. In Kori, there are two varieties used. That is Karungori and also Karuvali. Karuvali is nothing but Katukori. That is wild fowl. Wild fowl is Karuvali. So this it can be made as and we have many preparations called as Kukudadi Kashayam, Kukudadi Thailam in that way. Then other mainly used is Velladu. In Velladu Ney is used. Velladu Aatel Kashayam, Aatel Vaatru, and also its flesh is also used in Varmam preparations. Then Onan. What is the use of Onan? Onan Sudanthaila Medic use of this? Mainly for Sanni Vagigal. So there are some preparations called as Vada Sanni Thailam. Vada Sanni. In that Vada Sanni Thailam, Onan, get water. I'll take it. In Vada Sanni Thailam, this Onan preparation will be mainly used. Then comes Udumbu, monitor lizard, that is it will be mentioned as Medivali. Medivali is another name of Udumbu. Udumbu is so all these animal products, how it should be used in preparation, you have to remove its head, limbs and also intestine. When you are using this Medivali Udumbu, there will be some thicker part near its spinal area. That should also be removed. But nowadays, this Udumbu and all banned from our government, so it should not be used. I am saying just for the information purpose, which is mentioned in our literature. Then squirrels are also used. You can see preparations of anil nei, anil kiradam. Then rabbit. Rabbit kaattu muyal will be used, and kaattu muyal that will be used in certain preparations. Then hoops of horse, like kudurai kulambadi. The previous adappan mooli I have said kudurai kulambadi, which is the herb. In some preparation, kudurai kulambu will be used. This kudurai kulambu will be available in Roderick shops also. How it will be used? It will be made as a சீவல். நம்ம எருமை கொம்பு சீவல் சொல்றோம் இல்லையா? ஸோ சீவல் மாதிரி இருந்து அதை கருக்கி கடையில் விற்பாங்க. That you can use it for the preparations. குதிரை குழம்பு. Then honey and its exudates are used. Then milk and its milk and milk products. All like when you are making thailam or ghritam, these things will be used. Then naganam. What is naganam? Yes, good, correct. So generally naganam is other name of சுக்குக்கு நாகராதின்னு சொல்லுவோம். நாகனம்னு வந்து நேர்வாளத்துக்கு இன்னொரு வேறு பெயர் வந்து நாகனம். ஸோ நம்ம ப்ரிப்பரேஷன்ஸ் வரும்பொழுது அது என்ன you have to speak with the tribal people. In that way only you are able to get it. How you can use it? You have to take out the skin, intestines of the snake, and then a center trunk part will be taken, and commonly sarapambu irukkalingla. So sarapambu, that trunk will be little hard. This will be very soft. The soft one only of nallapambu, cobra, should be used in the medicine. Okay, then palnandu. Palnandu, nandu is nandu, uchi. They are mainly used in many chippinai kind of preparations. Then musurumuttai. Musurumuttai also you can see in Valiya Tirumeni, Nutiyettu Tirumeni, and also in Rajanga Thailakam. So this musurumuttai collection is very tough. How I said about Karuvilanji Kudam, it is also tough. What musuru will do? Musuru is nothing but misru. Anyone knows misru? Misru is ant. Red ant. நம்ம சிகப்பு பெரிய நல்ல கடி எறும்பு இருக்கு இல்லைங்களா? அந்த கடி எறும்பை தான் வந்து முசுருன்னு நம்ம லிட்ரேச்சர்ல எழுதிருக்கோம். காமெண்ட் பேசுறது வந்து மிஸ்ருன்னு வாங்க. ஸோ அதிகமாக பார்த்தீங்கன்னா it will be more on mango trees. So when you want to collect it, it is very a tedious task. Definitely it will make our fully inflamed. So what you will do, you should spread a big cloth below it, and then you have to hit it from little distant area, so that from that cloth that full அதோட livelihood இருக்கு இல்லைங்களா, அது அப்படியே மண்ணோட குழணும். Then you have to collect the this ant eggs. Then also definitely you will get some 1 or 2 bites. So it is also very tough, but it is used mainly for many kind of sunny நோய்கள். ஸோ நம்மளோட சிறப்பு மருத்துவத்திலையும் படிச்சிருப்போம் இல்லையா, முசுறுமுட்டை தைலம் நசியம் படிச்சிருப்போம். ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் மோர் யூஸ்ட் இன் ப்ரிப்பரேஷன்ஸ். தென் earthworm, பூனாகம் இஸ் நிலவேல். ஸோ பூனாகம் பூனாகம் இஸ் டிஃப்ரெண்ட் அண்ட் earthworm இஸ் டிஃப்ரெண்ட், ரைட்? earthworm வந்து நமக்கு நல்ல ரொம்ப நீளமா எல்லா மண்ணிலுமே இருக்கக்கூடியது earthworm. பூனாகம் அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து some people say it is a kind of German kind of earthworm. So முக்கியமா பாத்தீங்கன்னா நம்ம அம்மி இருக்கு இல்லையா, அம்மி அம்மி வச்சிருக்கோம் அப்படி இப்போ யார்கிட்டயுமே இல்லை. ஜென்ரலாக சின்ன வயசுல நீங்கள் பார்த்துருப்பீங்க. அம்மிக்கு கீழே வந்து நம்ம ஒரு சாக்கு போட்டிருப்போம் யூஸ்வலா. அந்த அம்மி சாக்கு எடுத்துட்டீங்கன்னா அதுல ஒரு குட்டி குட்டி குட்டியா இருக்கும் பாருங்க, அதுதான் பூனாகம். That பூனாகம் and our normal earthworm are both are different. That பூனாகம் should be used in the medicines. Okay, and in literature it will be said as nilaver or bhoomiver. Okay, when it is nilaver, we should not go to the herbal thing. The nilaver is nothing but பூனாகம் only. Okay, then animal fats. So animal fats, so when you go with very big preparations, kaya rajangam, payara thailam, and then taruna rajangam is shorter one, payara. So these things will be having kaatu pandri nei or malai pandri nei. So literature எப்படி இருக்கும்னா malai pandri நெய்ன்னு இருக்கும். So this wild boar, it's nothing but the animal fat of wild boar. So why it is much used? Wild boar oda food என்ன? What does it eat? காட்டு பன்றி என்ன சாப்பிடும்? லயன் கிங் படம் பார்த்துருப்பீங்கல்ல, லயன் கிங்ல வரும்ல, காட்டு பன்றி கிழங்கு தான் சாப்பிடும். ஸோ அதோட கம்பை வச்சுட்டு ஃபுல்லா தோண்டி எந்த மாதிரி கிழங்கு இருந்தாலும் அதை எடுத்து சாப்பிடும். ஸோ அது கிழங்கு சாப்பிட்டு நிறைய ஸ்டார்ச் சாப்பிட்டு அதோட பாடி வந்து will be full of fat. So that fat you can use in the medicines. Only when you use this wild boar based fat in preparations, it will have very good action of vasavennai. This is one of the for vasavennai. That is wild boar and also python. Python is மலைப்பாம்பு நெய். ஸோ மலைப்பாம்பு நெய்யும் இந்த காட்டு பன்றி நெய் ஏதாவது ஒன்று சேர்த்தாதான் நீங்க நினைக்கிற ரிலாக்ஸேஷன் கிடைக்கும். பிகாஸ் வாட் இஸ் த பர்பஸ் ஆஃப் அப்ளைங் வசவெண்ணெய்? வசவு இஸ் டு ரிலாக்ஸ் இல்லையா? இறுகி இருக்கிறத ரிலாக்ஸ் பண்ணணும். Just only with the herbal, the relaxation which you expect will not be there. Only when you add this kind of animal fat, it will be intended. Then lac. So animal products like புனுகு, கொம்பரக்கு, கஸ்தூரி எல்லாமே வந்து நம்ம ப்ரிப்பரேஷன்ஸ்ல இருக்கும். Then I less mentioned. So whatever I have found in most of the preparations I have listed out, there is chance of I have missed something also. So in Kayathrimeni preparations, in most of the Kayathrimeni preparations, in Kadai Charakkugal, you can see Tuttam, Turusu, Pavadaputtu. Okay, so Tuttam, Turusu, Pavadaputtu will be there. Tuttam is nothing but zinc sulfate. But in Kanyakumari district, you will be, when you are asking, how many of you got Tuttam from Kanyakumari Roderick shop for any preparation? வாங்கிருக்கீங்களா சார்? ஒயிட் வந்து நம்ம நார்மல் பால் துத்தம். பட் கன்னியாகுமரி மாவட்டத்துல மருந்து கடைகள்ல நீங்க துத்தம் வேணும்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா அவங்க மண் துத்தம் தருவாங்க. அது அப்படி மண்ணு மாதிரியே இருக்கும். நம்ம செங்கல் சூளையில இருந்து எடுக்கிறோம் இல்லையா? செங்கல் சூளையில இருந்து I should have dropped the photo because of time constraint. I didn't drop. It was not in Google also. So நம்ம செங்கல் சூளையில இருக்கும் பார்த்தீங்களா, அதே மாதிரி தான் இருக்கும். அது that is called as மண் துத்தம். ஸோ என்ன பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா சம் ஜிங்க் ஓர் ரிச் மண்ணை எடுத்துட்டு வந்து செங்கல் சூளையில எரிச்சு அதை மருந்துக்கு யூஸ் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. இன்னைக்கு இருக்கிற பால் துத்தம் நமக்கு கிடைக்கிறது வந்து இட்ஸ் well synthesized one, so it is in white color. But the one which was used since long time was mantuttam. And even now when you are asking, when you are ordering some drugs from the Roderick shop in Kanyakumari district, they are giving this one only. So it is nothing but the zinc rich soil which is laid in a brick as a brick one. Okay, that is so paltuttam, mantuttam. Both are zinc sulfate. Then turusu we all know the copper sulfate. Then anjanakkal. Anjanakkal will also be in most of the preparation as patra bikram. That is at the end you have to use this anjanakkal. Anjanakkal is antimony bisulfate with some traces of lead. So anjanakkal நம்ம காஜல் போடுறது எல்லாமே அஞ்சனக்கல்ல இருந்து தான் வருது. ஸோ அவ்வளோ டாக்ஸிக்கானது தான் நம்ம யூஸ் பண்றோம். பட் இட் கூல்ஸ் த பாடி. ஸோ இட்ஸ் பீன் யூஸ்ட். தென் கன்னார். So in these preparations you can see kannar, panju kannar, kannaram. So all refers to asbestos. Okay. Even this is also banned one, but it's been mentioned in the literatures. Then Gandham, very few preparations have this Gandham, which is magnetic oxide of iron. The first three, Tuttam, Turusu, Anjanakal will be mostly mentioned. This Gandham will be mentioned in very few preparation, and some preparation have Mridal Singhi, Tayagam also, but it is very rare. Preparations which involves Rasam, Gandham, they are very minimal. If there are some preparations added in the later time. Recent time la add பண்ணி விட்டுருக்கதா இருக்கலாம், but generally it doesn't have, usual Varmam medicine doesn't have those high heavy minerals. So with that I have completed what is the basic pharmacology. So you got the knowledge what is the flow of Varmam songs, and how the herbs will be mentioned, how you have to approach when you are reading some literature, some classical literature. You should have these points in the mind so that you can easily decipher and you can make some preparations. Okay. Then regular protocol is, as I said earlier, when a patient comes, you have to stimulate the Varmam point. Varmam stimulations will be given, and it's a very common practice when you are taking the patient to any asan. After Ilakkumurai சொல்றோம் இல்லையா, Ilakkumurai எல்லாம் செஞ்ச பிறகு they will give Sama அரிசி கஞ்சி. Same is very commonly used millet in Varmam text. So நமக்கு எனர்ஜி வந்து ரொம்ப லோவா இருக்கு, those are feeling very tired. இப்போ குழந்தைங்களுக்கு கூட if they are having more tiredness in their body, you can give Same kanji. Easily digestible, which is easily digestible, Same arisi kanji. And when you go to the asans also, they will prepare this Same arisi kanji and they will just give it at their home itself. And then medicines according to Varmam impact. So next they will go the எங்க அடிபட்டிருக்கு, அதுக்கு என்ன மருந்து கொடுக்கலாம், அது குழி மருந்து என்ன கொடுக்கலாம், வெடி மருந்து என்ன கொடுக்கலாம் அப்படிங்கிறது எல்லாத்தையுமே this will be the usual protocol followed by the asans. But current protocol is totally different. We are following now, and here I have mentioned about what are all the dosage formulations. So இப்போ நம்ம இதுல வந்து நம்ம 32 உள்மருந்துகள் சொல்றோம். So such kind of 32 internal medicines are not mentioned in real classical literature. சிலதுல வந்து பற்பங்கள் சொல்லியிருக்காங்க, but they doesn't come under real classical Varmam literature. So as far my knowledge is concerned, I have listed whichever I have seen. So சாறு இருக்கும், சாறு, சுரஸ்தம், then decoction, kudineer, they form the very integral part of Varmam medicines. So there are many decoctions mentioned. And then thailam, kudineer, thailam and ney, they are very important. So thailam பாத்தீங்கன்னா, so ஒரு யாராவது என்னென்ன தைலம்னா தெரியும் சொல்லுங்க. வர்மத்துல உள்ள தைலங்கள் பேர் 2-3 சொல்லுங்க. கோவிந்தராஜன் தம்பியே சொல்லலாம். காயத்திருமேனி, அப்புறம் ஸோ நமக்கு வர்மம்னாலே என்ன வருது பண்ணிருக்குல்ல, தைலம் தான் வருது. ஸோ தைலங்கள் வந்து நிறைய இருக்கு. அடுத்தது நெய், மெடிக்கேட்டட் கீ வந்து நிறையவே லிட்ரேச்சர்ஸ்ல சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. அடுத்தது கற்கம், ஸோ நம்ம நேரடியா இமீடியட்டா கொடுக்குற கற்கம் இருக்கு. பட் அதிகமா வந்து இப்போ அடிபட்டு உடனே வராங்க அப்படின்ற போது கோழிச்சாறு தான் கொடுப்பாங்க. கோழிச்சாறு என்னன்னா ஃப்ரெஷ்ஷா ஹர்ப்ஸ் எடுத்துட்டு வந்து கோழியை வந்து அப்படியே ஃப்ரெஷ்ஷா இடிச்சிட்டு அதுல இருந்து அப்படியே பச்சையா வந்து கொடுப்பாங்க அடிபட்டு உடனே வரவங்களுக்கு. So the basic thing for acute management is they will give this kind of charu, and then followed by certain medicines which generally aim to prevent bleeding. With any kind of trauma, what should be avoided? Bleeding should be arrested. So the medicines, they are the approach they use to this is to prevent bleeding, then to stabilize vitals, and then to stabilize the any kind of fracture or nerve injury. Then there are, you can see more list of Churanam, Lehiam, then water. What is water? Water. இப்போ நம்ம லிட்ரேச்சர்ஸ்ல பார்த்தீங்கன்னா முட்டை வாற்று, கவ சர்வாங்கம், காய சர்வாங்க வாற்று, அப்படி நிறைய வாற்று இருக்கும். வாற்றுனா என்ன? distilled form. Yes, ma'am. But நம்ம distilled சொல்லலாம். Ferment distillation we will make the fermentation, then we will be distilling. But when you see the formulations of water preparations, how it will be there, the herbs will be there, decoctions will be there, they will be mixed with some oil and then they will be grinded with alcohol. Not sarayam. So it will be grinded with alcohol. Alcohol also forms a kind of base for fermentation. So it will be grinded in alcohol, then it will be made as a medicine. So there comes, it's a different kind of formulation which we generally will not see in our Siddha text. So it's a unique thing for Varmam. So Varmathla unique or dosage formulation enna pathina vaatru muregal. And there is some extensive list which is also mentioned in Varmachari 205. So in that book you can see lot of water preparations. Then kuligai are there, and then it's a relevant terminology I was not able to find for water. If anybody can tell also, we'll add it. Then like many kurambu preparations are there, and kanji. There are many kanji, that is gruel, medicated gruel mentioned. So nama sonna madri sami arisi kanji agattum. There are certain gruel mentioned for strengthening your sense organs. For general sense organ strengthen panna, general nutrition enrich pannadhukku. And there is one kanji which is commonly used in by the tribal people, which contains single thandu, Tinospora cordifolia. That works well for autoimmune diseases. I am using in practice for rheumatoid arthritis or SLE. People come with package of steroid and also DMARBs. The DMARBs they are taking, you can give, it's nothing but the food. The way we are saying them, because I am in AIMS, people come with the preparations from the allopathy setup. So just like that, we cannot say them stop the medicine. So along with the whatever the allopathy medicine, we are giving an integrative approach. Along with the allopathy medicine, I will be advising them some dietary advices. So in that, the single kanji will work very well, and they feel very good. And inflammation, single is nothing but an immunomodulator and adaptogenic drug. So how you have to prepare? You have to prepare with the tender stems and leaves of Tinospora. You have to boil with rice. நம்ம எப்படி அரிசி கஞ்சி பண்றோமோ இதை ஒரு பொட்டலமா கட்டி அந்த சீந்தில் இலையை கஞ்சிக்குள்ளார போட்டுட்டு அது அவங்க வாரத்துக்கு 2 or 3 days we can ask them to take it. And then so these are the usual dosage formulations mentioned in Varmam literatures. Kavalam. Yes ma'am, Kavalam is also there. You can make a note. Then I have listed some commonly used decoctions, and which is good in practice also, which many asanas are also currently using in their practice. So Sahasradi Kashayam. Sahasradi Kashayam is for Sahasram is head. Any kind of head related diseases, you can use Sahasradi Kashayam. Prasarani Kashayam, and Amakra Kashayam. Prasarani Kashayam is for neck disorders. It is for cervical problems. Then Amakra Kashayam, it is for periarthritis. I have given the formulation also. Then Vali Angadi Kashayam or Angadi Kashayam. Name itself suggests Angadi is Kadai Marundugal. So Kadailandu Vangra Marundu vechi nama oru Kashayam podradhu. So Angadi Kashayam, then Pavu Kashayam. Pavu Kashayam mainly for contains parengypatine. Then Nimbadi Kashayam. Nimbadi Kashayam is for any kind of painful conditions. Sulai, Vadam. For such conditions, Nimbadi can be used. Then Ramachandradi Kashayam. Ramachandradi Kashayam, it is mainly for pitta related diseases. And Ramachandri Kashayam, it works very well for renal calculi and also gallstones, and that is for cholelithiasis. Then Kurundutti Kashayam. Kurundutti is one of the main herb mentioned in Varmam literatures. So Kurundutti is Sida rhombifolia. So Chitramutti is Sida cordifolia, which is very common in and around Tamil Nadu. But this Kurundutti Kurunduti, you can see, I think in Chennai area we have it, and it is not much found very wild as Sida cordata. Okay, this Kurunduti, it will have a small streaks on its leaf. And there is one more variety called as Kurunduti. There are 3 varieties of Kurunduti. The black variety is called Kurunduti. The Kurunduti, some Vaidyas say say that Mulike as Varma Kandi. There is a herb called as Varma Kandi. In some preparations it is mentioned. So we can relate it with the Karupu Kurunduti. So Kurunduti Kashayam, it's also good for all painful conditions, Vadam related problems, and for Varma Adi Indigal. Then Dasamula Kashayam, it is for how we use our Dasamula Kudini, the same purpose, but it's mentioned in Varmam literatures. So there is this usual Sahasradi Kashayam we can follow, which contains Karun Kurunji. So Karun Kurunji is also strobilanthus. So nama Kurunji poo solrom illanga. So it's Karun Kurunji will be added. Then Koshtam. So Kottam is Koshtam costus speciosus. Chitramutti. This has Chitramutti, Sida cordifolia. Then Devadaru, Chukku, Vasambu, Pundu. Perumarapattai is Cherculia foetida. Buddha Karapan Pattai or Perumarapattai. Then Chevium, Mehaver, and Kondarak. In many kind of acute management preparations, Kondarak will be there. So when you are making kashayams when you are making medicines with Kombarak, you cannot just, because it is arak, so you have to make us a pouch and then you have to make us a decoction. So nama kidi katti adha vandu Kombarakku sekanum. So when you are boiling that Kombarakku, care should be taken, because Kombarakku when it is exuding out, it may stick on to the base of the vessel. So at once you have to stir it, or nama tula yandrama pottu kuda you can make the Kombarakku. That is how you have to add Kombarakku. If you are directly adding, it will give vomiting to the patient. Then Prasarini Kashayam. So Prasarini is Mudiyar Kundal. Here also Mudiyar Kundal, the other name of Mudiyar Kundal in Tamil Nadu, in Kanyakumari dialect is Tirupanappul. In most of the songs, it will be Mudiyar Kundal will be mentioned as Tirupanappul. Okay, this Prasarini, it is good for cervical pain. Then Chitramutti, Chukku, Ulundu, Chicharattai, Pundu. You have to make it as a normal decoction. So when you are taking Prasarini Kashayam, once it is made, fine, at last you have to add castor oil to it. You have to, according to the age and weight of the patient, you can add some castor oil to the prepared decoction. Decoction should be prepared, and on it you have to add some castor oil and ask the patient to drink. Companies Varma Kudini SKM la podranga ma'am. Varma Kudini, but I do not know the efficacy. But they are having Varma Kudigai, Varma Kudini, both the things SKM is having. Then this is the formulation of Ramachandradi Kashayam. So you can see most of the preparations are for reducing the Piktam. So as I said, Puvan Kurundal. In the literature it will be like Puvan Kurundal. Puvan Kurundal is Neichitti, Vernonia, Cerealia. Then the other, what is the thing? Koduppai. Koduppai is Ponnangani. So it's a common terminology. No one says as Ponnangani. Commonly they call it as Koduppai. Tirutali. Tali is Iponia. Nama Naruntali solrala Naruntali. Tali, Thudalam, Pasalai, Bogam Medicated கீரைகள்ல வரும் பாத்தீங்களா தாளிக்கீரை அதுதான் அது நருந்தாளி இல்லனா திருத்தாளின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. So it belongs to Iponia. Then கடலஞ்சில் everyone knows it. அடப்பொதியன் கிழங்கு. அடப்பொதியன் கிழங்கு is Tarpustemia adacodion. It is you can get it from the market. Okay, adacodion. And when it comes to Nannari, the name mentioned in literature will be Narunatti. Narunatti Kirangu. Narunatti or Narunatti Kirangu will be mentioned for Nannari. So here it's directly said as Nannari, but most of the preparations will have as Narunatti. And all other things you will be knowing it. So when you are preparing this Ramachandradi Kashayam, you can prepare as a regular Kashayam. Finally, you have to add Tippili powder, that is piper longer. You have to powder it, and you should tell the patient while taking the Kashayam, you should add some 2 pinch of long pepper powder on it, and you have to drink. Then this is Angadi Kashayam. It contains 64 herbs. It's also called as Vali Angadi Kashayam. It is very commonly used preparation. So this 64 drugs, when you are ordering to a raw drug shop in Kanyakumari, they will be knowing it, and you can easily prepare and you can dispense for your patients. So what is the thing? So this is commonly used for any kind of painful condition. Even for rheumatoid arthritis, it can be used, and for any kind of chronic painful conditions, this will be used. And as it is purely herbal, it is safe too. As I mentioned, Iruveli is here. Okay, so Iruveli you will get it as a normal raw drug itself from the shop. Sir? Buddha Viriksham. Buddha Viriksham is Cetpulia fetida. Kirimi Satru, we can use it for Sundaikai. There are 2 terminology. One is Sundaikai, Kirimi Chatru, and the other is also there. I am not getting now. Okay, so this is how it's used. Then Nambadi Kashayam. It is Mudiyar Kundal because it's a typographical error. Okay, Mudi Vembin Pattai. So what will be the taste of Mudi Vembin Pattai? What is the taste of Vepam Pattai? Neem bark, how does it taste? Neem nale? Bitter. So here they are mentioned as Mudi Vembin Pattai. So its taste will be sweet. I have tasted it. It is my one of the drug in my dissertation. My dissertation drug was Vishwasura Kudini. So Vepam Pattai is one of the drugs for for my dissertation drug. So I have travelled across fully Chennai where I can get a big neem tree so that I can take the bark. So I have found few big trees which require 2 or 3 persons to hold up. So it's obviously you can logically think it should be the oldest tree. When you are tasting such a kind of bark, the bark will be sweet in nature. So definitely the alkaloids present in the older tree will be different. So that's why they are saying you have to use Mudi Vembin Pattai. Okay, Mudinda Vepam Pattai, the good ripened one. And in the Varmam literatures, in certain areas, they will be getting Tiri Manjal, Kadai Sarakagalla. So Tiri Manjal mentions about Manjal, Mara Manjal, Kasturi Manjal. Because usually we will always remember Manjal and Kasturi Manjal. We will forget Mara Manjal. If in the preparation, if Tiri Manjal is coming, we have to use Manjal, Mara Manjal and Kasturi Manjal. This preparation has Mara Manjal, so I just reminded. Then Amukra Kashayam, this will be good for periarthritis. Internally you have to give this decoction, and externally you can use any kind of Kanjira Padatailam. That Eti Padatailam. Eti Padatailam will be very good for periarthritis external application. Sirupunnalari is a Arivahi Arla, sir. Sirupunnalarisi. Botanical name Sendati is Sendati. Kanjuriyoda variety. So it will be like a Natte Churi. Churi is Natte Churi. Illa typographical error. So Aruga Ver and Aruganoda Ver. Arugan Ver, Churi, Natte Churi, Venkunji, Madura. And in the preparations, you can, when it comes to Nal Pamaradi, all Arastu Atti. These 3 will be more commonly repeated. And we cannot find much about Itti. Itti will not be most mentioned. So this is the Rasamola Kashayam. So this is having Urinyai. Urinyai is Mudakattam. Mudakattam. So Urinyai is, so it will be mentioned as in songs, it will be like Urinyai only. So very less commonly Mudakattam will be mentioned. Okay. Karkadavi. Kuvidam is in most of the preparations mentioned for pain, Kuvidam will be there. Kuvidam there will be there. Bilvam. Bilvam is Kuvidam. And generally, again, commonly it is said as Kuvidam only. Less commonly, Bilvam will be used in common language. So, previously we have seen all the decoctions. Now we will be seeing the medicated oils. You all know these oils. I have just mentioned this is Jnana Odivu. The references are Jnana Odivu Murivu Sarasutram. So this Murivennai, Alampal Murivennai, Chitradi Murivennai. In Murivennai itself, because for any kind of trauma management, Murivennai will be used for the external application. So there are many Murivennai. Normal Murivennai is there, Alampal Murivennai is there, Chitradi Murivennai is there. Alampal Murivennai, how we will be taking Alampal? Any guess? If you want to, sir? Usually, it is very tough to take latex from Alamara. Yeah? So what will be used? The bark should be taken. Bark should be, you have to just sprinkle some water on the bark and you have to you have to crush it. The crush panna, so it will not give any juice. It will have some semi-solid consistency. In that consistency, you have to make a decoction. If you are just making as a decoction, we will not get the proper extract. The latex is very varadu. So தண்ணி தெளிச்சு இடிக்கும் பொழுது அந்த இருக்கிற லாட்டெக்ஸ்லாம் வெளியே வந்துடும். ஒரு நொர மாதிரி வெள்ளை கலர்ல பஞ்சு மாதிரி இருக்கும். அதை நம்ம திரும்ப கஷாயம் போட்டு அதை நம்ம சேர்க்கணும். This Alampal Murivennai will be excellent for any kind of fracture management or any kind of ligament injury. We are using in practice also. So regularly it is in our practice. It works very excellent. And then Chitradi Murivennai. Chitradi na? Chitramulam. Chitramulam is nama Kodiveli. So Chitradi preparations kuda Chitradi along with Nallanna base. So in the preparations நிறைய நம்ம வர்ம நூல்கள்ல இருக்கும். நெக்ஸ்ட் காய ராஜாங்க முறிவெண்ணை. ஸோ காய ராஜாங்கம்னு என்ன இருக்கு, தருண ராஜாங்கம்னு என்ன இருக்கு, காய ராஜாங்க முறிவெண்ணைன்னு இருக்கு. ஐ ஹவ் given the references also. காய ராஜாங்க முறிவெண்ணை. ஸோ காய ராஜாங்கம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா it is a very huge formulation. It is in Varma Odivu Murivu Jnanam, and this huge formulation, it uses 9 types of oil. So previously, as I mentioned, Panji nei, Mail nei, I missed a Mail, that is fat from peacock will also be used. In such a way, 9 kinds of oils will be used in Kaya Rajangam. And in the song itself, it will be said as Javu Onnu Serum. So you can definitely give for any kind of ligament injury. We are using Kaya Sarvangam, Kaya Rajangam, we are generally using in our practice, and it gives excellent result. Like for any kind of ligament injury in ankle or in the knee, you should give internally this Kaya Rajangam. Then Kaya Tirumeni Thailam. So the major interest of any kind of Varmam medicine is, major interest will go to Kaya Tirumeni to everyone. So Kaya Tirumeni, there is a separate literature called as Tirumeni Nidhanam, and one more literature called as Tirumeni Vagadam. So in that they mention complete data of Kaya Tirumeni preparations. So this should be a very recent intervention only. Like who are practicing, they would have just jotted down and they would have published. This Kaya Nidhanam is there. This Tirumeni Nidhanam is there since many times. So in that Tirumeni Nidhanam, you can see 1 tirumeni, 1 kaya tirumeni to 64 tirumeni. That is, for example, I will explain you. Single tirumeni means the oil will have only one herbal ingredient, okay, one oil and one last adding drug. For example, I have shown no, tirumeni pachilai. That tirumeni pachilai will be the one herb and oil will be just coconut oil, no other additional oils and only one patra piraya. Like finally we will be adding no. So that is called as Ottai Tirumeni. In that way we have Ottai Tirumeni, Rettai Tirumeni. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in such a way you can just increase it up to 64 Tirumeni, which uses 64 herbs. And there is one preparation called as Valiya Kaya Tirumeni Thailam. It uses 108 herbs. Okay, and oils which are commonly used in Kaya Tirumeni are the most commonly used is coconut oil. And in Kanyakumari district, it is very easily available. So just like that, they will be using, and they will get their this coconut oils and they will get there from their own farms. So it is very commonly used. Kaya Tirumeni Thailam with the coconut oil base. There are certain preparations which uses coconut oil and also gingerly oil, sesame oil. And there are preparations which uses coconut oil, gingerly oil and castor oil too. So in that way, this Kaya Kurundutti, and I have mentioned about Varma Kannadi. The more commonly used Kaya Tirumeni preparation among the Vaidyas is Kaya Tirumeni from Varma Kannadi Ainuru. There is a book called Varma Kannadi Ainuru. That preparation is the one which most of the asans they are using in practice, and it will be effective too. If you want to make, you can better select that preparation and it can use. And the herbs will be more or less, if you are little searching, you will be getting those herbs. And that will be having the minerals only this, as I said, power, tuttam, turusu and pavaraputtu. Then Kurundotti ennai. So Kurundotti, it forms the major thing in Varmam medicines. So Kurundotti, so you get Kurundotti Thailam, Kurundotti Kashayam. Previously we have seen Kurundotti Kudineer also. So Kurundotti is mainly used for painful conditions, any kind of vata related problem. Then Vasavennai, the name itself suggests Vasav. So it gives relaxation. So as I said, Vasavennai, what you have to add it for Vasavennai to get its full effect? Yes, good sir. Katapandri, wild boar. You have to add fat of either wild boar or python. Then only you can get the effect, expected value, but it is banned these days. Okay. So Vasavennai, there are. It is illa sir. அது புக்லேயே வந்து மலை பன்றி இல்லைன்னா காட்டு பன்றின்னு தான் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. ஸோ நார்மல் பன்றின்றது மென்ஷன் பண்ணல. மேபி வாட் ஐ எம் திங்கிங் இஸ் திஸ் easily available, but we can try it out. We can try it out for the practical usage. This is easily available. We can try it out and make the medicine. So Vasavennai, another important herb in Vasavennai will be Kachadai, aloe vera. And then Thali ennai. Thali is Thali. This Thali is different and that Narun Thali is different. This Thali is Moodilla Thali. Cassata filiformis. There are two varieties of Cassata filiformis. One is yellow in color and other is green in color. The green color should be used in the medicine. How many of you have seen Moodilla Thali? Yes, sir. So this Moodilla Thali, when you are going by road, definitely on either when you are going out of the city, you can see this Moodilla Thali. You have to collect it and you have to make it as a decoction and then you have to prepare as a oil. This is Thali ennai. Thali ennai you can use as a massage oil also. Generally, it is more commonly used in Kanyakumari. Then here I have mentioned the external medicines, more commonly used external medicines, and then more commonly used internal medicine. In that, this Kaya Rajangam, Kaya Sarvangam, and Kaya Tirumeni, they can be used both for internal and external purposes. Then internal medicine, Sahasradi ennai. So Sahasradi, already we have seen one Sahasradi Kudineer. So Sahasradi ennai is for any kind of head related conditions. You can apply on your head. It will correct the Varmam energy. Then Prasarini Ennai, Mukkut Ennai. Mukkut Ennai, most of the Vaidyas will be having either one Mukkut or one Aindennai. So these are prepared medicines, right? So they will be having in their hand. Mukkut, we have Sagadevi Mukkutu is there. So any one kind of Mukkutu will be prepared and will be kept themselves. So it will be given for internal usage. They will give for 3 days or 6 days in that way. That is how it is practiced. Then Kaya Sarvangam. So in Kaya Sarvangam also, so the reference is in Tharalamani Balavagaram, but any one, but usually most of the asanas, they will have their own kind of preparations, Kaya Sarvangam. More than, because when you see Kaya Sarvangam, it is very less mentioned in the literatures. So it is very less mentioned in the literatures. Kaya Sarvangam, it can be used for internal usage. Then Payyara Thailam. Payyara Thailam. Anyone heard of Payyara Thailam? Payyara Thailam, it is mentioned in Udiyumuribu Jnana. Like Kaya Rajangam, it is also a very lengthier preparation. It uses 6 kind of oil. In Kaya Rajangam, it uses 9 kinds of oil, mixed oils. Here it is used 6 kinds. There is one oil called as Chennai Ennai. Yaru keli pattirukingala? Chennai Ennai, Chennakkai Ennai. Chennai Ennai. Because Varmam literature la paakumbodhu, there will be more of Chennai Ennai in all the preparations. So this Chennai Ennai, it will not grow. It is not growing in South India. It comes from North India. It is Amura Rohitaka. So it is a kind of oil prepared from that tree. It is prepared from the seeds of that tree. Probably we are getting from Punjab or Haryana. So that is how Payyara Thailam. It also contains that Chennai Ennai. Totally 6 kinds of oil will be used. It also contains Mayil Nehi and wild boar ghee. Then Valiya Thayathirumeni Thailam, already I have mentioned. Then water. So water, as I already mentioned, there are many mentions about water in our literatures. Varmasari 205, it mentions about more water preparations. So you can see Muttai water. So Muttai water is especially meant for any kind of injury in your Panchavarna Kugai. What is Panchavarna Kugai? Nenjukodu. So any kind of, so it will be mentioned as Panchavarna Kugai ulla eedu vandu sari pannum. And Arugon. Arugon is, so there are konangal, that is geometrical connections in the body. So Arukonam, when you see that Arukonam, it mentions your chest cavity. It is the flow of energy in the body, how it's a geometrical connection. So Aingonam, we will say the energy flows in your back in the shape of Aingonam. The energy flows in your hand in the shape of Yenkonam. There will be 8 angular connections. The energy which flows in your head will be circular fashion or semicircular fashion. And the Arukonam is the chest cavity. Narkonam is your stomach, the energy. So Muttai water is the one which will correct the energy flowing in your Arukonam. So for any kind of long-standing asthma, you can give this Muttai water. And any injury to Alampurudan Nadi. If you see in the preparations, finally this Muttai water will also be given for internal usage. Then Mundirigai water. What is Mundirigai? Yes, Drachi. So Mundirigai, because commonly what we will, cashew nut we will say as Mundiri. In Kanyakumari district, Drachi is mentioned in a term called as Mundirigai, common term. So it will be as Mundirigai water. Then Mattuval art. So it's a common practice in those areas to give Mattuval soup to TB patients. In Kanyakumari, Tirunelveli areas, people who are affected with TB, though they are taking ATP, they will take this soup also as a regular thing. So it is mentioned as a water preparations in literature also. Then RTL water. So RTL vellad, the goat bone, that is its final area, no? That will be made as a decoction and finally prepared as a water. Then kukkuda water, as I already said, koli, karangoli, kukkuda water, kukkuda thailam, kukkudadi thailam, they form the main thing for any kind of Varma injury medicine. So kukkuda water you can give it for internal purposes. And so just to give an overview, so already what I mentioned in the previous tabular column, those many medicines are there. Just to give an overview, I have given this. Should I come? Okay, with this we complete our internal medicines used in the Siddha and in Varmam, Siddha Varmam. Internal medications used. So next. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Shailaja. It was an excellent presentation. Now we can have a short tea break and then we can proceed for the second session.